Good morning. Welcome to this morning's Monday morning devotion. One of the things that I want to talk about today is faith. After losing my father-in-law and all the things that I read about people saying about his faithfulness to God as he served him here on earth, my hopes is that one day the same things are written about me. And so I thought maybe this would be a great topic to start and talk about today. So I want to talk about that. In Hebrews 11, we see there's a list of some of the heroes of faith who have gone before us. What separates them from us is their faithfulness. Hebrews 11:6, which is going to be my key verse, without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe he exists and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. I want to give you 6 things that I believe faith is. Faith is believing when you don't see it. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. Faith is visualizing the future in the present. It's seeing it in advance. Faith turns dreams into reality. Second, faith is obeying when you don't understand it. Just think about Noah and all the doubt he probably had. God saying, hey, I'm going to make it rain. I need you to build a boat. And Noah going, what's rain? Hebrews 11:7 says it was by faith that Noah built an ark to save his family from the flood. He obeyed God, who warned him about something that had never happened before. The same thing was true of Abraham. By faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place he would later receive as an inheritance, obeyed and went even though he did not know where he was going. Thirdly, faith is giving when you don't have it. Hebrews 11:4. By faith, Abel offered God a better sacrifice than Cain did. By faith, he was commanded as a righteous man when God spoke well of his offering. It wasn't the amount, but the attitude. When we decide to put God first with our time, talents, and treasure, it shows we trust God with everything. God has always been faithful to me, and he will always be faithful to you. For many of we live by, if God will give me first, then I will give. But that's not faith. When we sow in faith, God honors it. Fourth, faith is enduring when you don't feel like it. Our culture says do everything based on your feelings. If it feels good, do it. Successful people are simple, ordinary people who do what the average person doesn't feel like doing. Faith is being persistent. Faith is refusing to give up. Faith is doing the right thing, even when you're tired and don't feel like it. Hebrews 11:27 says, by faith he left Egypt, not fearing the king's anger. He persevered because he saw him who is invisible. When you're at a quitting point, keep your eyes on God. Faith, number 5, faith is thanking God before you receive it. A good example of this is Joshua. Hebrews 11:30. By faith, the walls of Jericho, after the people had marched around them for 7 days, fell. Faith is thanking God in advance, believing in answers already happened. You're just waiting to see it. That means that if God tells you to go after Moby Dick in a rowboat, then you go and take some tartar sauce. And lastly, faith is trusting if you don't get it. Some people try to make God like a vending machine, that God automatically will give you what you want, but that's not true. Here's the truth. God hears and answers every prayer you pray. The fact is that he doesn't answer always the way we want him to. In fact, sometimes when you pray, God will say yes. Other times, God will say no. Even other times, God will say, not yet, it's not time. And even other times, God will say, I've got a better idea. All 4 of those are equal valid answers to prayers. And faith is trusting God, even when I don't get the answer I expected or wanted. Notice the verse about the Hall of Fame, Hall of Famers in Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11:39 and 40 says, they were all commanded for their faith, yet none of them received what they had been promised. God had planned something better. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.